We were just talking about how everything works out and like, that's Denali. Our names are Mike and Heather. We're traveling the US in our van Appa on a mission to visit all 50 states. Subscribe and join us as we try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. Good morning from Denali National Park, more specifically the bus depot at Denali National Park.
Today we're on the Tundra Wilderness Tour, which is going to be a bus tour through Denali National Park.
So there's about 15 miles into the national park that you can drive with your personal vehicle, and then it turns into a shuttle bus. The hop on, hop off one is more for backpackers and people who are wanting to go explore the wilderness, and the narrated one is more for looking for wildlife. So that's the one that we chose. Hopefully we'll get lucky and see a lot today.
And hopefully we can see that elusive Denali mountain. Only 30% of people who come to this national park actually see Denali, which is North America's tallest mountain.
So we messed up. I had originally booked the tour online for 9:30 in the morning, so that was the time slot I thought that we had to get there for. But it turns out the time that they had actually sent us to get on the bus was at 9:10. So it said arrive 15 minutes early, so when we got there at 9:15, we had already missed the bus that left at 9:10 because they switched the times and they sent us the right stuff in the email, but I just didn't see it. They were very kind and helped us reschedule to get on to another one. So we had to drive to Princess Wilderness Lodge. Is that what this is? We had to drive about
Denali
5
Princess.
minutes, Denali Princess, to hop on the same tour in the same bus, just at the hotel that they pick up from. So now our tour starts at 10:40 rather than 9:10. If you're coming to Denali, make sure that you double check your start time because it's not always the one that you booked online. Good news is we still get to go on the tour today. And now we get to eat some Pop-Tarts.
All right, well, welcome. So we're going to go 43 miles out into the park today.
Look at the streets lit up with us. Dressed up so fancy just because. These are the good days. What else could we be but a festival? What else could we feel but wonderful?
That was probably a bit of wind.
So we are at our first rest stop here along the tour. There's a couple of them for bathroom breaks, but this is a scenic overlook as well. So far the tour has been really cool. As we're driving along, we're getting a lot of fun facts and information about the park itself.
It reminds us a lot of the gypsy guides that we love to do when we go to national parks. This is right up our alley. And again, this is the only way that you can get into this wilderness area of the park. We left the paved roads behind and actually been on gravel roads. This is an area that is only accessible by motorized vehicles during the summer, and during the winter, really it's just dog sleds that can get out. So this is a really cool tour to be on. We haven't gotten to see Denali yet. Fingers crossed, we keep saying it, that we'll get to have the skies clear up a little bit. But it's been a great day for it. The colors are amazing, and we're having a lot of fun.
It's a little bit drizzly out, but that's fine because we're in like a nice warm bus. Even with the weather, it's not stopping our enjoyment of today.
We are back on the bus and getting ready to go deeper into Denali. On the tour you get some water and then a box of goodies that includes some cheese balls, brownie brittle, energy bar, a turkey stick. I'm gonna try this dessert one first.
It's an area you should definitely be looking all over, including up the mountain, down the mountain, far away, because this is bear territory. Do they look kind of like a squirrel? That's probably a ground squirrel then. Anyway, take some pictures if you want.
So we started to see some more animals. Basically what happens is you pull over, they drop down the little TVs, and they zoom in super far so you can see them. We've seen bears, moose,
ground squirrel.
Yeah, and we're still on the hunt.
I don't think I need the camera for this stop, do I? That is a grizzly. Notice the hump on the back shoulders. And he's digging for probably roots or tubers, things like that, or Maybe a ground squirrel, I don't think so. Good, but in this park, that's what they encourage.
We wrapped up the tour and have been reunited with our own transportation, our van Appa. Denali was absolutely beautiful. Seeing all the fall colors pop through, the yellows, reds, greens, oranges was an amazing experience.
We saw 4 different grizzly bear, which, if you're keeping record, is actually our first grizzly bear sighting, because all of the other ones that we had seen up to this point would have been brown bear, and the grizzly is a subspecies of brown bear that lives inland, and these were noticeably smaller than the ones we were seeing at Katmai and around the coast, because they get to eat salmon all the time and are able to get so much bigger. So it was really cool to see the differences, and it was amazing to see more bear. They're one of our favorite animals to see, so it was a really good time out in the park for viewing wildlife.
We are almost back at our campsite now, where we're gonna cook ourselves some dinner. We did pick up some firewood at the Riley Campground Mercantile as well, so we'll be able to enjoy a campfire in Denali National Park too. So tonight is going to be the cherry on top of a very nice first day exploring Denali National Park. It's a tad bit chilly out here, so I think we're actually gonna make a fire before it gets dark, so that way we have some of the warmth while we're cooking. So we had to dig in our bag, our tool bag / miscellaneous bag, to find fire starter, and I figured while we did that, and to grab out our chairs, could fix one of our little projects that went awry in our van. This little area down here is where we usually keep our internet device. This thing, this MiFi, as I'm throwing stuff. And it usually sits in this little mesh cage pocket thing. We got it for like 10 bucks at AutoZone, so it's nothing fancy or the best quality. So it popped off. What I'm gonna do now is just gonna hot glue it on, because the adhesive sticker thing that we first put it on wasn't doing the job over some of those bumpy roads and actually fell off. So in order to have a safe place to put our internet once more, I'm gonna fix this real quick, then get to making the fire and then dinner. Good enough.
That's it.
The other thing on the menu tonight besides mac and cheese is our 9 Lives West Coast style IPA Nagley Store Mayor Denali beer. Before we came to Denali, we swung by the little town of Talkeetna, checked it out. There's lots of cute shops, but one of the quirkiest things about Talkeetna is that they have a cat mayor. And while we did not get to introduce ourselves to the mayor, we did see him though that morning. Oh, smoke. We picked up some beer, however, in his honor that we're going to be enjoying tonight.
To Mayor Denali. That's pretty good. I think it's more of a blonde beer, so I like it.
Yeah, it's beer. I'm not a big beer drinker. This one's tolerable. It's good.
We're very much Labatt Blue type people.
I'm very much tequila.
Labatt Blue is the official sponsor of the Buffalo Sabres, or is the beer sponsor of the Buffalo Sabres, so that's kind of my beer of choice.
How can you pass up a beer with a cat on it?
Yeah.
Who's the mayor of a town that we went to?
And it pairs well with a nice Velveeta mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'm sure this is exactly the dinner menu that they thought when crafting that beer.
It might actually have been.
Who knows? We've moved closer to the fire because it's getting chillier out here today, but the weather has been absolutely perfect. I wasn't really sure what to expect. We're the second week in September now, and when you think of Alaska, at least when I thought of it, I thought everything was just under 10 feet of snow at all times, besides the 2 months in the summer, and I thought it would immediately start snowing as soon as the traditional tourist season ended up here, which is basically August, but it's been mild fall temperatures, which we're completely used to back in New York. This is like our fall season. And not only that, but we're getting to see all the beautiful fall colors.
This year is especially vibrant. I think yesterday walking around Talkeetna was maybe the closest day that we've come to having a bad weather day when we've been trying to do something. But today was really a nice day, pleasant. Right now we've got blue skies.
I'd say September's a pretty darn good time to come to Alaska. It's technically the shoulder season, so a lot of what we've been doing has been slightly cheaper than it would be during the summer, which is great. Lower crowds. Even today with the bus, it was about half full, and the bus driver said that there's only 3 days left of Denali bus tours, so we got lucky with that we could pop to both sides of the bus and be able to see what was going on and not necessarily have to look over people's shoulders. We've been really fortunate here in Alaska, and yeah, I'm just really thankful for our experiences so far, and we still got a couple more adventures left to go in Alaska, including tomorrow exploring more Denali. We're just going to enjoy the rest of the beautiful night that we have here today in Alaska, because we keep basically saying in Alaska at the end of every sentence that we're telling each other, because we're in Alaska and we just still can't believe it. Is that it?
That's it. Okay, so look, right? Double Mountain, Sable Mountain, the Denali South Peak, and North Peak. Right through there, just like this. That's Denali.
Wow.
That's so awesome. It's so clear.
So we were just like sitting around our campfire, like thinking about like, wow, the sky looks really, really blue. Maybe we should go back into the park and see. And we have pulled over at one of the overlooks, the 15 miles that you're allowed to drive in, and we can freaking see Denali.
Yeah.
Like, how perfect is this? We were just talking about how everything works out, and like, that's Denali.
So we were driving through and we looked over and there was this really white, stark mountain far off into the distance. So Denali is about 80 miles from where we are right now. And we're kind of like, I don't remember seeing that. And so we pulled over at one of these because they have a skyline map of what the area looks like. And that is Denali. Clear as day, clear to see. This is amazing. We didn't see it earlier today, but we took a gamble because the skies looked clear. And
I mean, look at that sky. Look at the sky. We're like, we could see it. Like, let's just go in and try it. And that is Denali. You can't even make this stuff up. It's like too perfect. I can't even believe we're sitting in our van next to the tallest, not really next to it, it's like 80 miles, but with views of the tallest mountain in North America, and
it is over 20,000 feet above sea level at the peak. It is an enormous mountain, and the highest peak, the southern peak, is the tallest, and then there's a second peak kind of right next to it that is maybe just a few thousand feet smaller. So there's those two absolutely enormous peaks that make up that entire just giant mountain, and you can
just
see
how
it so
clear
clearly.
You couldn't even like see into a lot of these valleys this morning because it was so dense with cloud coverage, and it's just, there's like one itty bitty cloud in the sky near
over
it.
the very tippy top of it, but
It's
to be
just
able to see the mountain.
Insanely lucky and fortunate. We're now officially part of the 30% club because unfortunately the majority of the time a lot of visitors don't get to see Denali. So we made it! Yay!
Yes. And I will say, this trip and our time in Alaska, we have been unbelievably fortunate with how the weather has broken for us. This was really our last weather dependent, will it happen type experience. Everything else has gone our way. We've had amazing weather, and if it hasn't been amazing weather, the weather's at least broken to give us a great experience with whatever activity we were doing. So this has just been such a great trip in terms of all of the things we've been able to do without really having to worry about the weather being a factor that much. Wow, I'm so happy that we got to see this mountain. Everything else has worked. I knew we were gonna see it. And we saw a bunch of moose on our way out here too.
Yeah, on our way to this viewpoint, we saw a bunch of cars pulled over and we saw a bunch of moose, but we're like, no, we have to get there before sunset because the sky is so clear. So now we have something to look forward to on our way back to the campground is all those moose. So shall we go see if we can find any moose on this perfect night? Bye, Denali. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our Denali adventures here at the national park. Today we are driving to the sled dog area here. At 10 o'clock there's actually sled dog demonstrations where we get to see them hard at work, and we are about 8 minutes away from that. So we're gonna hurry on over to that and then go check out the sled dog kennels.
I think this is gonna be a lot of fun and we're really looking forward to it. This has been one of the things that we've been most excited for here at Denali.
I hear barking, so we must be getting close.
Yep, they're all over there. Oh, look at you can go in and play with all.
Oh my gosh.
You need a clock when you work over here at the dog yard. You just listen up, you know exactly what time it is. It is 10 o'clock. That's purely excitement because they want to be chosen. They want to run. They want to do their thing. I'm going to translate. They're saying, choose me, choose me, choose me. Green light for Ranger Jason to go, go, go. Oh, look at that fast dog. Running, running, running. Woo!
So we just finished up the sled dog demonstration and it did not disappoint. It was really cute to see all the puppies get super excited, all wanting to be chosen to be able to be the ones that drag the sled, and it was just a really fun experience. But now the best part is we get to go pet them.
So we can head into the kennel. They have 35 working dogs here and a couple of puppies, and I'm just really excited to go see the dogs.
Pupper? Oh, you're such a good pupper.
How fast do you tail this is?
He's like, okay, if you insist, if you insist.
You're a race car, huh?
You're such a good puppy.
Oh, that feels good, huh? Good job! Oh, let me move with you, baby. Oh, they're soft. So we probably spent far too long in the dog kennels because we were the last people there. Everybody else got on their shuttles and left, but we were soaking in all the dog love. We even got to see some puppy sled dogs that are in training, and it was just a really cool experience.
We have geared ourselves up and we are currently on the McKinley Railway Trail, which leaves from the visitor center here at Denali National Park, which takes us to a really fantastic trestle bridge that we saw towards the end of our tour yesterday. So it's a nice sort of easy trail, and we're out in the woods with the amazing fall colors and the beautiful trees, and a nice trail to get out and explore nature.
We also have our bear spray and are keeping our eyes peeled for bear because we know that they're out there because we've seen so many on our bus ride yesterday. And we've also been seeing a lot of moose scrapings, what are they called?
Yeah, from the rut.
Yeah, so it is moose rut right now, which means that they're even more aggressive than usual. So we're also keeping our eyes peeled for moose.
When I saw her walking by with a twinkle in her eye, there was something in that smile that did drive a brother wild. By the way she looked at me, I was sure it would be nothing more than a man.
We made it to the really pretty trestle bridge and continued along the Riley Creek, which, if that name sounds familiar, it's because it is the same name as the campground that we stayed last night. So we actually continued alongside the creek back to where the campground is and are now prepared to turn around and head back to the visitor center.
This has been a very beautiful hike. It was short and sweet, which is exactly what I was looking for today. After a long day of exploring Denali yesterday, just being amongst the fall colors on this beautiful fall day, couldn't ask for a better way to end our Denali adventures here. It's actually so warm. I'm like overdid it with the layers, but I've already committed to having a hat on today, so the hat hair is real. So even though I'm sweating, that is not coming off. We are making our way back to our van now, down this beautiful pathway.
So we made it back to Appa, and we've actually returned to the Riley Creek Mercantile because we still have 2 shower tokens left.
Wait, I want to show you what the shower tokens look like because they're actually super cute. They're little bears.
Yes, so if you're staying in the campsite, you can buy shower tokens. It gets you a 10-minute shower for $4.50. So not the most we've ever paid, and definitely something that we enjoy anytime we get an opportunity. But we didn't use both of them over the couple of days that we were here.
We did take a shower, but we bought 2 showers for each of us.
We probably didn't necessarily need the 2, but because we have them, we're gonna get showered before we hit the road and head towards Fairbanks, which is our next stop here in Alaska.
But on that note, we are going to go take our showers, and we'll see you all in Fairbanks.